Boom. Welcome to Cook For It, bro. Tonight, we got something special. We're going to do some seafood for my seafood lovers. We got lobster, seafood mac, and asparagus. Now, I usually do my seafood mac with lobster, but that's not happening tonight since we got lobster already. So, this meal cost me about $53 to make. Cheaper than going to a restaurant. Plus, you're going to have leftovers. Nothing better than leftovers. Well, yeah, it's a lot of stuff better than leftovers, but we appreciate leftovers right now. We in the house all the time. So, let's get into it, man. I'm going to go down to the kitchen and get it popping. Boom. Now we're in the kitchen. I told you upstairs what we was making. Let's get right into it. But first, you're going to need a few things. Of course, you're going to need the lobster, the cheese, some half and half, 2 different kinds, lump crab meat and regular white crab meat, chicken broth, macaroni noodles, fresh asparagus, never frozen, parsley, and also what I call a party pack. This right here got thyme, sage, and rosemary. We won't be using the sage tonight though. Shrimp, onions, and what else I need? Garlic, my favorite. Alright, now that they've been washed and everything, you can get yourself some kitchen shears. Right down the middle. Cut it to like the middle of that last part, whatever this is called, I don't know. But like the middle of this one, stop on this one. What you want to do, open it a little bit. And clean all of this out. And wash all of these out once again. Reach underneath here, widen it, reach underneath, widen it, pull it up, close it a bit. Sit right on top. And right here, you pretty much want to just repeat these steps for the remaining lobster tails. Cut them down the center, near towards the end, and then lift the meat up and sit it on top. Right now I'm about to add salt to the water so I can begin boiling the noodles for the macaroni. And next what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of olive oil to the water before I begin the boiling process. Budget, man. Like I said, everything's on a budget. With these, cut the ends off. I don't know if they fake or what's up with these shits. Next I'm gonna get the garlic and chop it up using this method by laying the blade flat and smushing it with my hand, and then cutting it after that. Next, like I said earlier, I need half an onion, so I'm about to peel and cut that. I really don't have a specific technique I use to cut the onion. I just try to cut it down as much as I can. Dice, whatever you want to call it. Next, I'm going to prepare the thyme. I'm going to do that by separating the thyme from the stem by holding it with my index and thumb at the bottom and then sliding my other index and thumb from the bottom to the top, and that's the easiest way to get it off. Then I'm going to chop it up just a little bit just to make the pieces smaller. Then we're gonna make a mixture for the lobster tails. This is about 1 tablespoon of butter, a couple pinches of thyme, and a couple pinches of rosemary. You're gonna put that Pyrex or whatever, have a bowl, put it in the microwave, wait for about 30 seconds, and I'll melt it all together. Also, I'm gonna add some black pepper and a little bit of paprika.
you want to take that mix that you created and brush it over the lobster tails. If you don't have a brush, you can just use a spoon and just drizzle it over it. It doesn't really matter. Either way it'll work. After this, you want to put the lobster tails in the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes on 350. You're going to see me make the lobster tails before the macaroni in this video, but in reality I made the macaroni first and then I made the lobster tails. And right now we're about to make the, I guess, cheese sauce, if that's what you want to call it, for the macaroni. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil, about a little bit over a tablespoon of butter, some of the onions you diced up, some of the thyme, and some of the rosemary. You also could add a tablespoon of flour if you want to. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Also, at this point, you're going to want to heat up a cup of half and half for about 30 seconds. That's crucial to the mix. And after you let that cook a little bit, you want to add a cup of chicken stock or chicken broth to the mixture as well. And if you're like pescatarian or something, you could just simply add vegetable broth. Then you want to add some black pepper and a couple drops of hot sauce. You can add as much hot sauce as you like or as much pepper as you like. Just don't overdo it. At this point, I'm going to add seasoning salt, some cheese, and some flour. want to stir it up a little bit, make sure the cheese is melting real nice. After this, you're going to add another type of cheese, whatever cheese is your choice, but next I added cheddar. Stir it up till it get a good texture, a good consistency. Next, you want to add the white crab meat. You'll add the lump crab meat later on, but for right now, just add the white one. You want to get the mixture in good. Put enough in there. All you're gonna do is stir it up. It's gonna help coat the noodles and everything. Your cheese sauce should be getting a little bit thicker now. And this is where you want to add your noodles. This is the beginning processes of the macaroni. There's only a few steps left after this. This is the easy part. Now you got a pan full of wok. You'll get your baking dish. It can be glass, whatever. But you'll take it and you'll spread it out evenly in this baking pan. Right here is where you want to add the raw shrimp. You don't need to cook the shrimp beforehand because it's going to get cooked while it's baking. This part, you're also going to add a little bit of more of that white crab meat and some cheese at this point. You can use a different cheese. I use cheddar right here, sharp cheddar. I had used Cody Jack and cheddar in my cheese mix, but right here I'm going to use cheddar. After this, you want to add another layer of the macaroni and cheese sauce mixture on top of this. Once again, you want to make this level smooth or even it out across the top. You're going to add more shrimp and stuff to the top. And after it's smoothed out, you know what? More shrimp, more crab meat, more cheese. After this, you're gonna add the final layer of cheese. You're gonna cover it like you do a traditional macaroni and cheese or a traditional baked macaroni and cheese. Just cover it, fully cover it. Cover the shrimp, crab meat, everything. Then you want to throw it in the oven for about 30 to 45 minutes. Depending on how well the cheese melts and how, I like to say burnt, but I don't know if that's the correct word, but how well you like the edges of your macaroni burnt. Next you're going to get into the asparagus, add some butter. You know, this is basic right here. Butter, this is probably the easiest thing that I cooked tonight. Get the butter going, some salt, some pepper. And even sometimes I add a little bit of zesty Italian dressing to give it a flavor, just like a slight splash. It's completely optional, depends on how you like your asparagus.
Now we waiting on the lobster. The macaroni is finished. The asparagus is finished. Now the lobster takes about the same amount of time as the asparagus. So it's like 10 minutes, I guess. Asparagus can be cooked faster though, but I like to cook mine slow and low. So it's like 10 minutes, 10, 12 minutes. For the lobster, it's like a minute per ounce. So I had like 8-ounce lobsters. So I cooked them like 8 a piece, but not 8 a piece, but 8 minutes total. But I stretched that out to like 14, 15 just to make sure they were done. I can't find my temperature gauge, so I'm gonna have to trust myself. So I just chopped up some parsley and I'm going to plate in a few minutes. Disclaimer, I didn't go to culinary school, so my plating skills are what I think it should look like, if that makes sense. And it's not what a professional would make it look like, so bear with me. If it's acceptable or not acceptable, if you like it or don't like it, or any tips on plating, please leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe.